Okay. Teresa, can you say where your office is? Because Carla has this question.
Sure, Carla. We are in Miami Lakes. So we have an office in Miami Lakes and we're opening one in Doral on June 1st.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so let's start the 100K 100 days, the challenge, the last session that we have. So we already have session 1 and 2 available inside of our My Agent account, the VIP group. So just going back again, if you're watching this and you haven't seen the other ones, there's like a couple of things that you have to do in order to adjust, yourself to be productive with this program. The first one is you have to be clear about your goals. You need to know, where do you want to end at the end of the 100 days? How many sales do you expect to have? How many dollars in gross commission, or what is the volume of sale that you want to do? Perhaps if you think of $100,000 and the average of price of homes that you sell is 250, you're going to have to divide that and see how many houses you're going to have to sell within 100 days for you to sell and for you to get to this point here, to 100K in commission. So be clear about your numbers, know where you want to get. Adjust your schedule. You must adjust your schedule. You must make time for it in at least 2 hours every day, every working day. It doesn't have to be every day of the week, but every working day. You need to plan for resistance. Things will come up. People will talk to you about you're working too much. You're going to feel like you want to go on a day trip on the beach and then you have to work. I mean, things will come up and you have to be ready for this and say, no, I have to do my 2 hours today. If you have to do, you can plan. You can do it in the morning. You can do it later in the day, but do not do it. Another thing is track and measure. You have to track and measure, because I'm going to give you a certain number of activities that you should do every day. If you don't do it on a daily basis, if you don't do the amount of transactions, and then you're going to start logging how many actions you took that day. If you don't see your result and you look back at your numbers, most likely you're going to see what you're lacking. So when you track and measure, you see where you are not doing what you are supposed to do. And the last thing is decide on pain or pleasure, because some people are driven by not going through pain and some people are driven on having a pleasure. So think of, if this thing doesn't happen, if I don't accomplish 100K in 100 days, what's going to happen to me? Oh, I'm going to be super sad. I'm going to be upset to myself. I'm going to be frustrated. I don't like that. This is like the worst thing that could ever happen to me when I say that I'm going to do something and I don't do. Or it could be the opposite. It could be like, okay, if I do it, I'm going to get extra money and I can pay for my child's college. I can plan, it's going to be my retirement. I'm going to know that I'm going to be so powerful that I will start doing more things. So what will happen at the end that will make you feel either happy or unhappy? And then you have to take your decision if you're going to go for avoid pain or get pleasure. So if you pick at least 3 of these options here, you are ahead. If you can make all 5, good for you. You're going to be unbeatable, but at least 3 of these guys. So, and if you're going to ask me, what is the most important here? The most important here is for you to adjust your schedule, because if you don't make time, you could be committed, you can track, you can do whatever, but if you don't take your time, 2 hours every day, you are not going to get anywhere. Okay. So, I wanted to ask here if by chance, any of you, Carla, have you done any of the 100K, 100-day initiatives or no? I think you're mute. Você fez alguma coisa, Carla, dessas atitudes do 100K, 100-day?
Fiz algumas coisas.
Ok.
Basicamente, tudo aquilo que eu planejei para você, eu tenho feito todos os dias.
Okay, Carla's been doing really well with the social media posting, so a few of them. So we're gonna go over this too. Janet, did you do anything, any of these? Is it your first time that you're doing? I guess she's mute.
Yes.
No, I
Okay.
haven't done it. Hello to
Did-
everybody.
Hello, Janet. Have you watched the sessions 1 and 2?
I watched one session halfway and now this is the second one.
Okay, well, we just put the second one today, okay? So it's available.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this is the third one, Janet. So the first
Yes.
one, the first and the second are already on my agent account. So you guys can go
Okay.
back so you can review it and start from scratch if you need to. You know,
Okay.
it doesn't matter when you get started, you just need to get started, right? So if
Got
you
it,
haven't
yeah.
started yet, you know, that's fine, because you know, you just haven't started yet, but it doesn't mean that you can't get started. So you have the 2 recordings and you can go back and watch them and at least start plugging some of that stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's just important to start at some point. So when you're going to start, you're gonna come here and you're gonna pick at least 3 of these actions here to prepare yourself and start doing the tasks, okay?
Okay.
So, one thing that we need to know, this is something to keep in mind, especially now that we just went through this, you know, rocking on the boat about NAR decisions and all that. We have to, this is a moment of uncertainty for a lot of us, you know, a lot of cloud in the air, a lot of people don't know what it is, a lot of wrong messages crossing, and so it's important for us to stay strong, you know, and for us to be focused on what we can control. If we cannot control, like, drop it. It's just like if you have a buyer that you cannot control this buyer, you know what? Put him on the side. Okay, go work in another buyer that will listen to you, that will give you more, you know, that has more prospect of happening than this one. You know, you have to learn to understand, like, if this is not going to work, let me just leave it on the side here and focus on something else. And maybe when I come back, this thing is going to work better, you know? So focus on whatever you have control, and everything that I'm going to tell you after here, you will have control of doing it, because how you control it, you decide what time you're going to do it, you will decide who you're going to send it to, and when you're going to send it to. That's it. So it's only your control. So you have to be mentally tough. So you have to be always with the mentality that you've got it, you can do it, you have the means to do it, you have the resources, you have the power, and you have great leaders that will help you do it. If you, whatever you need, you can reach out to us and we'll help you. So don't give up, stay strong mentally, and just leave to the side whatever you think you can control. Keep going. Be resilient, but never think about quitting. Just keep doing. If you start doing the 100K, say, okay, I'm going to start it now. Start it. Don't quit. Keep doing. Keeping track of everything. Keep doing. Keep it, reaching out to people. You will see it happens. And the thing is, once you start and you experience one small success, it gives you, like, it fires you up, and then you want to go to the next step, and then you get more confidence, and the more confident you get, the more you're going to get deals happening around you, right? So the agenda for today, because every 33 days we spoke about actions that we have to take. So today we're going to talk about the one-on-one market update that you're going to have to make 100 of them between now and the next 33 days. The prospecting, you're going to be doing 1,000 of them between now and the next 33 days. Email marketing, you're going to do 4, and bonus, you're going to do twice, which is the same thing basically that we've been doing for the other 2. So one thing that is a big trend right now is everything a little bit more personalized. After on the first and the second sessions of the 100K 100 days, we spoke about, the first one was you would have to send 5 ZMAs to your database, and the other one would be for you to send 2 CMAs to your database per day. We do that on my end, on my coaching program. And everybody who's been doing this with me on the coaching program, what we all reported was that from what we were doing, the action that gave the most results were the texting CMAs on the phone, getting on Zillow, getting a screenshot of their, the value of their home and saying, hey, you know what, you want to list your house. So, or do you know, not sorry, do you want to know the value of your house? And then people get interested and you start sparking conversation. The conversion rate for texting people the value of their house and starting conversations was 7 to 8%. So this is a high conversion rate. So out of everything that was done that we had to do, text, call, do a lot of other things, we had the thing that worked the most was the text messages. So that's why now what is suggested, not suggested, what is told for you to do is a one-on-one market update. You should do it 5 every day for people that you know, okay? So it doesn't have necessarily to need, it doesn't need to be an update of value of a property. It is, you're going to talk to everybody. You're going to talk to buyers. You're going to talk to sellers. Because this is how it happens, you know? How can you generate more listings or more transactions when you have more conversations, right? If you start talking to people, people will start interacting with you and you're going to start having transactions. But how do you have then more conversations? Well, you have to reach out. You have to have something important to talk about, because if you just go out there and start talking nothing, you know, or if you don't have any content, nobody's going to see value on you and they're just going to go away. So you need to be valuable. You need to understand your market. So here's what it is. We are all professionals. I assume that everybody here goes on MLS every day and you go through your farm and you see how much the houses are selling, what's new on the market, what is not. So once you do that, most of us, we do that. We educate ourselves about the market. Then we close our computers and we go off and we go work. We don't do anything with that information. We don't call our clients and say, hey, you know what? This is what's happening here. I mean, come on. And this is like, I was thinking about this the day they told me this. I was like, yeah, that's true. Because I have buyers in this certain, okay, I want to buy a house in this subdivision here. And I know that he wants to buy it. So why in the world I don't just get in there, read the stats for that specific area and shoot him an email, or actually shoot him a text message and say, hey, you know what? This is Solara Resort. I know you're trying to buy a house there. Did you see from last month to this month, it had an increase in value of 0.4%. So it is accruing value here. So you can always, we should not hold that information to ourselves. We should go read our market and talk to people about our market. Because when we talk to people about our market, guess what? You become the person that they want to go to. Carla, you are the one who's always talking to your clients on Instagram or TikTok and you're showing the houses. You have to talk about the market too. Carla already started. She's been talking more about the market now, you know, because she is already someone who people trust showing homes. Now she's going to talk, listen, besides I know homes, I also know about the market. The other day we were taking pictures and here in Celebration, right, Carla? We're doing our team pictures and the photographers are there with the lights on us, and then passes the guy and he's like, oh my gosh, there's Carla, the real estate lady, the showing homes and everything. I was like, Carla, you're famous now.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's nice. It's as nice as that, you know, when you communicate to people.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time that you review your recent sales in your house, you want to text someone in your sphere of influence or who lives near that property. So you know someone who lives close to a property, or you know someone, and then you say, you know what, I'm just going to research around this person's house, or I am going to call someone and say about the house that sold. or what I do here, and I maybe I already showed it to you guys here, but I always send it to my clients. So I have, for instance, on my WhatsApp, I have broadcast lists, you know, with like, for instance, investors in Orlando. So I go and I post a lot of things about the investment. I do videos about, you know, the market, or in celebration, for instance, I go not every week, but every other week, I send like prices, homes with the price reduced in celebration, and I send to my broadcast. This way, you are talking to so many people at once, and you're doing a broadcast list, you know. So if you do this, like targeted to 5 people per day that you know, that could be your past client, new client, friends, friends of friends, but just do it, okay? So here's what we wanted to do with this information that you're gonna get from your market. In the morning, when you sit in your computer, you read your market, see how things are, or you read the market where your client wants to buy his new house or sell. Then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna use this template right here. Hello, Mario. I was on the MLS earlier today and I just saw that 123 Banana Street sold in your neighborhood. Did you see the final sale price? And you start a conversation. Or you can see, I was on the MLS earlier today and I just saw that 123 Banana Street decreased in price. Also, this other property decreased. Did you know about it? So talk to 5 people, okay, on your phone. That's it. 5 per day. Pick any person and do it, okay? This is number 1 that you have to do. What you can also do after you send this information, and that's what we're trying here to maximize your time. Since you already was on the MLS in the morning, checking your farm, and you figured that 123 Banana Street lowered the price or sold or anything, you are going to say that to these 5 people and to everybody who follows you on your social media. So you go to Instagram or you go to TikTok, whatever. And then you're gonna go and put this here. We just did an equity report to a client. They gained so many dollars in equity within the last 3 years. Would you like to an equity report for your home? And then you put 3 questions, you know? Yes, sure, yes. What's an equity report? Whichever of these answers you will talk, you want to know who answered, you want to talk to this person. And then you're going to give an equity report to them. You're going to show to them how much their house appreciated from the time they bought until now. So the good thing of this, of having this information that you collected from the neighborhood here, you know, when you were doing your MLS research daily, you text 5 different people, and then you're going to text everybody who follows you. But the thing is, this one here is going to give you buyers as well, because a lot of buyers will be like, no, I don't know what an equity report is, or you can say something that within that range, but talk to people with the information that you have. Maybe you don't want to talk about the equity because maybe that neighborhood didn't have equity, but then you can talk about something else. Or you can post a home that sold and say, this home sold, can you guess the price? Can you guess how many days on the market? 30 days, 5 days, 25 days, you know, and do trivias like that. So people start interacting with you and you will start presenting information. So this part here of the story is actually a like, you know, a bonus extra from this one here. This is the one that is important. 5 texts per day with information about their property, their home, their neighborhood, something like that, that will spark a conversation, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is the circle prospecting, which is when we start reaching out to them on a different level. Now the mega trend that we're seeing is personalization. We want to talk, we want to be as specific as we can. So we suggest that you do 5 per day. And then you use the momentum of other sales. So let's say that a house sold in a neighborhood, or a new home came on the market, then you can call the neighbors about this home, or you have a buyer, you can call owners and say, hey, you know, I have a buyer here ready to buy in this area. So I was just wondering if perhaps your home, you would have any interest in selling the property. I would never call a seller saying that I have a buyer if I don't. What I usually do, if I do have a buyer for that specific area, then I reach out. If not, I would just go for, you know, reaching out, using the momentum of other sales. Let's say the house next door sold, so you can give them a call and say, hey, the house next door sold, would you like to have a conversation to discuss, you know, have information about how long it took to sell, what it took to sell, what was the final price, and stuff like that. So maybe you can send a letter to them and then call later, or you can send a card, a note card, handwritten, offering that, and then you call, because calling is important. Don't send just the note, you have to call. So the secret here that we're talking is personalization. You're gonna be as personal as you can to each one of these that you're gonna send. So what you have to do, you have to take, there are 5 moments that you can use as an excuse to personalize either a call, an email, or even on your social media. So when you have a listing that sells really quick, or that will sell quickly, let's say a house came on the market today and it's so well priced. Guys, this home here just hit the market today. It's newly renovated, new roof, everything priced under comps. It's gonna sell super fast. So if you have any interest, let me know. Go to the house, do a video, do a headshot video, and present the property, a property tour, and say it's gonna quickly sell. But then you send it to 5 different people. See, this house here listed on your neighborhood, it's gonna sell so fast. Do you wanna see the house? I mean, show the house to him. He's a neighbor, who cares, you know, but show, like, maybe he's like, oh my gosh, my house is so much better than this. Yes, you can sell it for more. So if a house has a great price reduction, you can go online and say, or you can send an email, can send to your database and like put it out there and say, great price reduction in this house. These are excuses for you to talk about the product, you know. Properties with lots of reviews on Zillow and Redfin. So if you go on Zillow and you see the views of the property, if there's a property that is like having way more views, because I didn't know that, but from my coaching guys, they were saying that these like buyers are all the time looking into properties that have the most the views. And they agree that, okay, well, this house has a lot of views, so it's gonna be a good house. We want to see the house. So just say, oh, this house here has so many views in Zillow. This is such a good deal. So you want to see this house, talk to me. I'll take you to a tour. I'll talk to you about it. I'll give you the market information. 5 of these per day. When there's a notable sale, low price, if it was the first time the house sold after so many years, long days on the market. Oh my gosh, this house was for 305 days on the market. Do you guys want to know why it took so long for this house to sell on a market that usually homes are selling in 58 days? Let me tell you this. Sit down, make a video for them, you know, and explain. So especially for people that are around that house that sold. And there is one thing here, that this is the most underutilized tool, that we don't do that ever, but now I am doing this, and this is good because people have no idea. Withdrawn or expired listings, because the final client, the final customer, he has access to everything on the market through Zillow, but they do not have access to what canceled, to what was withdrawn, or what was expired. So you can go ahead and you can do your research and you see, you know, this house was expired. You can check and say, hey, you know what, if you have interest in this house here, I know you were looking in this neighborhood, this house was just withdrawn. Why don't we go ahead and talk to them about selling this house? about you buying this house. Or so these are information that we don't, well, like we have and they don't. So if you want to talk about it on your social media, nobody else will know about it but you. So this is a good thing that you can reach out directly to people with this information, or, and also plus, I'm not saying one or the other. Also use that to your social media. So use these 5 events to post and do polls on your social media. So let's say this house took 305 days to sell. So put a picture of the house. Guys, this house took so long to sell on a market that sells for so many days. What do you think? Was it price? Was it conditions of the house? Was it location? And then they will check, and then you're gonna say, you know what? This is my poll. Most of you guys, like, were right on it. It was actually price. The house was good. Location was great, but if you're not, and then you have another option. So right there, you have 2 options for you. You're gonna be showing people that you have, you know, everything that's going on the market. This one sold after so many days. And you're gonna show, you know it, you understand the market, you know the reason why it didn't sell faster. So you're showing authority. So this is what you have to do, 5 of these a day. So pick 5 properties in the entire MLS. I'm sure you're gonna have plenty of information of properties. You can go on MLS, look for things that sold on your area, and filter by, or sorted, better saying, by days on the market, and take the ones that were more days on the market and read through it and understand, you know, and then you give this message and you say, you know why this happened? Because of this. What do you think? You know, so this is one other thing for you to do and show your expertise. So let's say that you want to call instead of send an email, because what I'm saying is, in here, when you're going to take one of these 5 situations to send emails or call. So let's say you get a new listing that will sell quickly, you know, or something that sold. Here are the templates that you can use to leave voicemails for these people that you're calling. And it's a good thing that you call people, they don't pick up the phone, because you will leave this entire message here without being interrupted. And he will listen the entire message. And if he has interest, he will call you. So if there's like, you're gonna get a listing, or in the neighborhood, you can say, you know, my name is Daniela with Real Estate, La Rosa Realty in Celebration. I know you're not expecting my call, but the reason I'm reaching out is because I'm actually meeting with one of your neighbors on Tuesday at 1 p.m. to discuss selling their home. You know, or you can say that you're gonna be doing an open house. I'm gonna be doing an open house. I was just wondering if you would like to come and meet me at the open house. I'm calling because I want to give you the heads up that there will be a lot of cars parking in in front of your house, but it's going to be for like 2 hours, and it's going to be a big open house. Why don't you come and see me and visit this home that I am listing, or that I am throwing the open house? Or you can also say equity report. This one here, like value-based voice emails with market updates. So this is the one, you know, like, I'm reaching out because in Celebration Market appreciated faster than almost every market in Orlando area. So it's causing a lot of homeowners in Celebration to sell, for selling. So if you're open to the idea of selling your home this spring, we all love to check, call and text me. You can do that. You know, you can do one or the other. All right. So there are many scripts that we could provide you, but these are like amazing. You can go to ChatGPT and create your own if you don't like this, or you can improve it. But this is for sure something that you will like to do. And if you want to send like a market update, like this one here, for instance, you know, like I want to send a value, and they say, yes, please let me know about the value of my home. So you go ahead and you record, you put it on Zoom, or, you know, and you go and you show the value, do a CMA, do a live CMA for him, record it and send. I just had a listing presentation that I had to do on Friday that I couldn't meet the seller couldn't talk to me, but he's like, you know what? I need to list, and I need to know what the price is. I just recorded everything as if I was explaining to him, and then I sent, and he watched my video and he's like, okay, very well, understood, great, we're gonna list, you know? But, so ways to personalize is this. Okay, so you can record your face and send it to them after. And the other one that we do once a week is sending an email marketing strategy. Every Thursday, you send an email to your database with a very good opportunity, something that, you know, could be one of the properties that you spoke, that you were like promoting that day. You're gonna get 5 properties to send personalized messages. Send one of these properties into the email and send to your people, you know, market report. You can send a market report, you can record a Zoom market report update and send to your database every Thursday. And then whoever opens the email on Friday, you follow up. Give them a call and say, hey, so you saw that. Do you have any questions? Would you like to discuss? Would you like any further information on specific neighborhood, house type of thing? So this is the other thing that you have to do. And the last one is the double dip, which is twice a month for you to cross that information, which is sending the email and then I'm actually promoting in social media and then sending from your social media to your email. So you find a good deal, either a property that is underpriced or too many days on the market, something that is interesting, you know, a new community, and you do a social media blitz. You go and you talk about it. You either film the property or put picture, post it, talk about it. And after you finish, you post it in your social media, you put that on your email. You send an email to your database, say, hey, I just posted on my social media about this community because it's like there are so many houses left. They're gonna close out sales pretty soon. So make sure that you watch the video that I posted. Maybe these people that are on your database, they don't follow you yet on your social media, so they will have the chance to follow you on social media. So at this point, you were double dipping. You're giving good news in both ways, you know, emails and social media. So these are the actions that we are expected to do in order to have a good outcome. Okay, so pretty much here's what we are expected to do. We send one-on-one market report on the 33 days. So if we divide it by 100, it's going to be, we're not gonna, so it's about 5, right? Because we're not going to be working 5 days perhaps. So you're going to prospect 5 days a week. So send one-on-one market updates 100. Prospecting, when I say 1,000 is because you're going to be sending these on your database, on your social media. So many other people will be reached. So you're going to be prospecting to 1,000 people for sure. And email marketing, you're going to send 4. So once every Thursday, and the bonus double dip twice within this period of 33 days. So this is pretty much what you have to do in order to reach success and come up with 100K in commissions, because it is feasible, it is doable. Just start looking for ways to start conversation with people. And what we have here in these 3 sessions, it's nothing but the best and the easiest ways to start conversation.
And I
Okay.
add, because some of us live, you know, especially here in the Miami area, Daniela, we've had such a increase in property taxes, right? So we've had an increase in property taxes. Insurance has like almost tripled. And so people who bought a house, or let's say even a townhouse in a community, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, now is paying almost double of insurance and taxes, right? So it's a great conversation starter if you're farming a certain community that maybe bring up that topic. You know, maybe you can call those people in your community, like in your neighborhood or in the neighborhood that you farm, and just say, hey, you know, I just wanted to share this information that, you know, I'm sure you already know that property taxes have gone up in this community by, you know, whatever, by 10 times, right? Or 2 times,
Mhm.
right? Have doubled, basically, have doubled in this community. And I'm getting a lot of people interested in selling because they can no longer afford these property taxes. So, you know, if you're interested in learning more about these opportunities, whatever it is, right? So just, it's farming the area and picking something, a conversation starter. And I think right now, especially down here, a conversation starter is higher property taxes, higher insurance, and these are just townhouses. So I know Janet lives in a community, it's a Lennar community near my house. And I know that property taxes in those particular communities, when they bought the townhouse, they were, let's say, $3,000. And all of a sudden the following year, they're up to $7,000 for a townhouse, right? And this year they probably went up even more. So, you know, it's a conversations to start with people who own townhouses and say, you know, why not pay the same taxes on a house that you're paying on a townhouse? Right? Instead of having a townhouse, maybe you need to upgrade to a house and pay the same amount of taxes. I mean, so there's different conversations that you can start in different areas to get conversations going with people, right? So even sending them these market updates, that could be a market update, you know, hey, the market update over here is, you know, all the homes in this community, taxes went up by 20%. You know, what do you think about that? You know?
This
Just
is
start a
awesome
conversation.
because actually it's been happening to me as well. And I think it was, I'm trying to see here, when was it? In March 5th, I put a video out on my social media. And I had an incredible amount of people calling me. And I just did a video like this because I had like so many people talking to me about it. Like, I don't know what happened. I thought my I thought my interest was fixed. And
Mhm.
now my interest started like changing because my mortgage went up. I said, no, it's not your tax. It is actually your property tax and your insurance. And they have no clue because even though you talk to them when they buy the property, you explain all the thing you draw for them, they forget it. And
Yes.
then they come for you whenever the property taxes raise, things change, they come back really, really scared. So a lot of people are like, you know, it doubled so a lot of people will not be able to afford, and a lot of people will be able to afford, but they're just confused. They just don't know what the heck's going on.
Correct.
I
Correct.
had one client he is a developer. He is a big developer in this area here. And he called me without understanding, thinking that the bank was being like arbitrary, you know, like just decided to raise the interest. I was like, no, that's not true. Let's go through. So what, you know what I did? I recorded for him on Zoom because it was later already and he didn't want to take the call. I recorded and I went to property appraiser website. I showed to him how much he paid the year prior, how much the house was when he bought it, how much he was paying. So you explain it to them. There's great value there, people. You start talking to them about it. In this case, this client, he didn't want to sell, but I had other clients here that were all calling me and asking about the situation. So whenever I put it out there, guys, you are not alone. There's a lot of people with the mortgage monthly rate, not monthly, but monthly payment increasing, and it's due to property tax and insurance. So if you want to discuss about it, talk to me. I had so many calls, you know, more than I wanted, to be honest with you, because, you know, it's just a lot of people,
You
but
became the counselor.
yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you said, it sparked a lot of interest and conversations. And we have to be realistic. A lot of these people that did buy, let's say, a townhouse a year or two ago, and were paying $3,000 or $4,000 in taxes, you know, and if it doubled, you know, that's a huge increase. That's $400 or $500 more every single month that they have to pay on top of their mortgage that they might not be able to afford. So now, you know,
Yes.
you have to get to them before they get into trouble as well, right? So if you see that that's happening in your market, you know, reach out to the people in your neighborhood and say, hey, you know, even if it's your neighbors, right, or people that you know that live in that same community, you know, just reach out to them and say, hey, you know, I live in this community. I noticed that our property taxes and everything went up. you know, and my payment obviously almost doubled, or it added another 500, you know, what do you think about this? You know, what are your thoughts? You know, whatever it is, but sparking those conversations, because some of these people are probably going to have to sell. They're going to have to
Yeah,
sell
that's
because they
true.
can't afford it.
Yeah, and even if they don't have to sell, at least they know they can count on you. They know, you know, what needs to be known that they will never know. And
Right.
then at least, you know, they're like, you know what, whenever they come to you, if they have to sell the house, they will come to you. If they need to refer someone with a similar problem or any other problem, real estate related, they will come to you.
Right,
And
because
that's what
you
it's
have to
good
become the
about.
expert. Mhm. And those market
Yeah.
reports that Daniela was talking about, you get those market reports on the MLS. There's, if you go, anytime you go into the MLS, there's either a monthly market report, a weekly market report, there's some market report. I just saw the Stellar MLS 2023 report, you know, and it was super
Yeah.
interesting because it was giving a lot of graphs in there, and you can really just go one page at a time and talk about this page today. Tomorrow you can talk about this page. I mean, there was like 10 or 15 pages. So you can actually go, you know, each day and create a whole new video on one property report, you know?
Yeah, let me show you this here on my screen quickly, because that's how I get the my MLS, not my MLS, I use RPR, but that's there's such a way, and it's so graphic, so easy for the buyer, the seller, or the client to understand the market, because that's how I record all my screens, and I use here RPR. Guys, this tool is amazing. You have to go to their website and take their courses.
Mhm.
Just go there and start, like, every day watch a video, or once a week watch a video. There's like so much information there. So you go here on research, and let's say that, okay, so I do a neighborhood research. And I put here, I'm gonna put here, I don't know, Winter Garden, okay? Winter Garden, Florida. So I want to see the 12-month change in value. I want to know, okay? So here, it's going to show me. Now, take a look at this. So it's going to show the market trends. So this is how I present, okay? So, hey, you know, Danielle, I'm showing you here your market report that I was just checking for a client in your neighborhood, and I see that your house is located in the same community. So I thought you would love to know about this. Take a look at the market of your house in Winter Garden. It is still considered a seller's market because we have an inventory of 3.4 homes, which is very low. Look at the houses, they're being negotiated for less than 2%. So people are selling for the value pretty much of what they're asking for. The houses are only taking 35 days to sell, and the median price of a home that was sold is $573,000, which actually had an increase from last month of 4.29% in 1 month. So it means that your area is still growing. If you look here, 12 months change, 4.2% appreciation on the price of your property. You who live in Winter Garden own the property that has higher market value than county, state, city, you know, so you are on a better property, better area, so it has more appreciation, you know, and then you can also go over other things in that neighborhood, but usually this is where I stop, you know, and then I go for the comps, and I go show the value of their property. I do the CMA here also when you go on home, and it just take whatever the CMA is, you know, and it gives you that value or something. You can also show this and say, hey, you know what, this property just came on the market. So the list price is 309, but actually MLS is saying that, or Zillow is saying that its worth value is 328. So most likely it is a good deal. So, you know, and you start talking about it, and then you can describe, like, the right below here, you're gonna have school information. Say, see, it's in great school areas. So here's a report. If you would like to have a report for this area, for this certain school, I'll prepare and I'll send it to you. You know, so you have so much to know here about this property that you want to show to them or not. And then you're gonna say the estimated value of this property. See, There was a decrease in value, people. So maybe it's a good time for you to come and make an offer if you want to live here in this property block. So, you know, things like this. But I think this tool here, RPR,
Mhm.
on the research tool, you have everything: market trends, neighborhood search, school search. You have commercial, like, go deep into this because
Oh, and
there's
that,
a lot of.
yeah, and thank you so much, because I've looked at that, but it's been a couple years that I even looked at that, so I haven't even shown that to anyone because I completely forgot about it. But that is a great tool, and this is another reason why, because let's say I wanted just to create a video and post it on, you know, let's say I'm focusing on my farm area to be homestead, right? So, and I'm just going to target homestead, right? So here's a perfect way for you can go just record a video for your social media, you know, 60 seconds, and just show that information. You know, if you're living in the homestead area, this is what's going on in homestead right now. Da 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 da. And you know, now you become the expert in homestead, right?
Yeah.
And you do these little market reports, and you can break it up in snippets, so you don't have to give all the information at once, right? You can go there. Hey, you want to look at what the best schools are in homestead? Here's what research is telling us, that these are this neighborhood has the best schools in the homestead area, right? So that you just pick a little bit from that CMA or that research, right? Those trends, and you can
Mhm.
create a video just on this. So you can create just on this part, the first part that you just announced, right? Then you can go and create another video. Hey, looking for great schools in Homestead. This is the neighborhood right here where they have the best schools, right? So
Mhm.
now you have this information, and you can share the screen so that people can actually see the data.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to do. And also, let's say you have clients that are looking for home in Homestead,
Mhm.
and they have the hashtag Homestead on your CRM.
Mhm.
Okay, so you record this video, and then you post it on your kvCORE CRM. You have, you can do, like, you upload this
Sure.
video on your YouTube channel, and you upload the video there. So it's one click, it's gonna watch your presentation.
Yep,
It's
absolutely.
very simple, you know, recording to your public, in your language, the way you want to do it, you know, English, Spanish, Portuguese, whatever, but talk to your people and show them that you know what you're saying. No, you're not, that they have to know that you're knowledgeable, because we cannot be just going through MLS every day, soaking up all that information
And
and
not sharing.
keeping it to ourselves. I mean, what's the good in that? You know, I'm not saying that you're not doing, I mean, I don't do it, you know, as much as I should either.
Yep, yep.
So this is
it's
one
true.
commitment that I made to myself, that I'm gonna be doing this more often, just because I think it's worth it, you know, when people come to you and say, hey, you know, I love when you talk about the market, I get so much information about it. You're like, you know what? That's what I should do. You don't want people
And
to
I
go
think,
to.
you know, now with this whole thing with NAR and how, you know, this whole, you know, not that a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are not changing. It's just a lot of smoke up in the air.
Conversation.
But there's going to be a lot of agents who are going to drop. They're so scared, and they're like, oh, forget it, I don't want to deal with this, that are going to drop off, right? And so you want to become the expert. You want to become that agent that knows what they're talking about, that when a buyer hires you, even if the buyer has to pay your commission, that you are, and they're going to want to work with you, right? Because they're going to go and want to say, oh, well, I'm going to go work with Daniela because she knows what's going on. She's educated. She's sharing the market. She's, you know, she knows what she's doing. So if I'm going to pay somebody, I'm going to pay her, right? Versus the agent who's not sharing anything, who's not doing anything, that, you know, now why should I pay you, you know, whatever, if the seller doesn't pay, why should I pay you? I don't see any, you know, so you're creating value for yourself, right, with the
Yeah.
market, and differentiating yourself from everyone else. So it's
And
really
you're gonna,
important, because people that, especially if we're going to get to a point where we might have to charge the buyer a commission for finding them a home, you want to make sure that they feel comfortable that they're working with the right person.
yeah. And you know, and you're gonna, like, the moment you start putting out this information about your knowledge about the market, you know, because people showing properties, anyone can show a property, okay?
Yes.
So if you're just on the on their social media, showing properties, and not showing that you know about the market, not showing that you know if the house is on a good price or not, why it sold, why it did not sell, there's not too much value. You have to be that person that when you get into any place with people and people want to talk real estate with you, you know, it's like, it's really a pain. I told my husband the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm a doctor, you know, you go to parties and people know you're a doctor, they start asking you questions about medicine and pain. And it's the same with me. Everywhere I go here, where I am around, I sit down on a conversation with friends. The first thing they come to me is, how's the market? Oh, have you seen this? Have you seen that house? It's always about the market because I talk about the market, so they know they can talk to me about it.
Mhm.
But you know, so if you're going to places and people are not talking real estate with you, it's because you are not talking real estate enough on your social media, you know?
That is true.
So that's what you have to be known for. You have to be known by the person who, you know, they have to go to if they want to know about real estate. They can even go to Zillow, but they will always confirm with you if Zillow is correct or not, because they know
Right.
you are the
The
trusted
expert.
source.
Mhm.
And one last thing I wanted to say on my end, then Teresa can say more. This sentence that Tom Ferry always says, he says, when in doubt, take action. And this was like every time in my life, I look back when I heard that the first time and I was like, you know what? You know, when you're in that situation, I don't know if I should do this or that. Take a
Just take
decision.
Mhm.
Do one, you know, this or that, but do something.
Mhm.
Because, you know, either you do it or you don't do it and live with the consequence, but you have to take action.
Mhm.
Just don't stay in doubt thinking like, should I do it? Should I not? Please do it. You're good. And I'm gonna tell you, if you do this that we presented, the 3 sessions we presented, I am sure you are going to be successful and you are going to make $100
100K.
$100,000 in commission in 100 days. But you know, you have to do it and you have to read, you have to understand, you have to prepare yourself, you have to understand the market and show yourself knowledgeable. Then you will be able to do it.
And you know, guys, even if you didn't, you know, yes, we have to take some action, right? We have to take action in order to get results. But even if you know, I don't want anybody to feel bad that, let's say they start taking some of these actions. They might not take them all. They might just take the ones that they feel comfortable with, you know, but they're taking some action. You're gonna get some results, right? Maybe you don't get to 100K, but you get to 50, right? Maybe you don't get to 100K, but you get to 75. So it doesn't really matter, you know, if you do nothing, you get nothing, right? So
Yeah.
if you take some action, even if you don't do every single little thing that we're telling you to do, you know, it doesn't matter. You do some of it, because if you do some of it, then you're going to get some results instead of no results whatsoever. So, you know, just because, oh my God, am I really going to make 100K in 100 days? You know, do I really have to do all this to make 100K in 100 days? Yeah, you do. But again, even if you do half of it, that might get you 50K, you know, even if you do a quarter of it, that might get you an extra 25K. So it doesn't matter. It's taking some of what we're teaching and using it so that you can move forward. You know,
Yeah.
again, it might not be 100K, but it doesn't matter. It's the point is to take some action and do some activity to get you some results. Okay.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you so much, Daniela, for that presentation. As
Thank you,
always, you
guys.
are amazing. And
Thank
guys, if you have any questions, remember that Daniela and I are always here for you. We're always here to try to help you with whatever we can. And, you know, hopefully we'll have more people join on our coaching sessions, because these are really, we're taking a lot of time. You know, for those of you who are watching this recorded, we are taking a lot of time out of our busy schedules to give back to you, right? And, you know, we want you to be here, because this is where you get to ask questions. If you have doubts, if you have anything that you want to add, maybe something's working for you, maybe something's, you know, you tried it and it didn't work. And then maybe now we can help you kind of, you know, mastermind that. But if you don't show up live, then you're not getting the full benefit of being able to ask questions and being able to give feedback. And again, you know, we're taking our time to basically dedicate to you, and we want to do this. We really, Daniela and I love what we do, and we love giving back to our agents, but you need to, I appreciate you, Carla, for being here, Janet and Amanda, because you get the full effect when you actually show up, right? Because it's a little bit different than watching a recording. I know, how many recordings don't we get?
Mhm.
And I'll watch 5 minutes sometimes and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Let me go do something else, right? So you don't get
Yeah.
the full effect that you do when you come in live to a Zoom, because you're a little bit more engaged and a little bit more, apt to listening to what's going on versus watching a recording later on, right? And even though the recording is there, right, we're going to still give you the recording, because that way you can go back and say, okay, maybe I missed this. Let me go watch it and see what she said about this. It's better when you're here live. So for those of you who are watching this recorded, I do hope that you are going to join us next time live. We do put these schedules out in advance, so it's not like we're just, doing it next day. We're putting them out in advance so you can put them in your calendar so that you can be able to make the time to join us. And, today we did it at 4:30 to 5:30. There should have been more people here, but there isn't, unfortunately. And then we do them in the morning sometimes, so we're trying to give you flexibility.